Hey guys, welcome to the VIP Elite Mentorship. Today, we're going to be talking all things business. I'm really excited about this call because as you guys know, business is my passion, business is my heart. So I'm going to be helping you guys level up on not just how to run a business, but I want you to get the psychology of the business, right? The psychology of the business is so important. So we're going to be breaking through those things as well. So it's exciting. So please make sure you take notes on this so we can get through. I've written my notes, okay? So I want you to imagine, right, we're going to take it real back to basics and definitely communicate with me in the chat box if you can. And I want you to imagine, you know, what your ultimate dream is. What is your ultimate dream? And I can see, obviously, Lisa, you're driving, so please just stay focused on the wheel. But what's the ultimate dream? Because in my mind, right, when I think about, you know, goals and dreams and, you know, why we want to be successful, the ultimate thing is we all have a dream, right? We all have a dream, whether it is to have a dream car, a dream house. We all have a dream to make more money, whether it's a minimum 100K a year, a dream holiday. You know, type in the chat for me, what is the dream for you? You know, every single person has a dream, right? We all have a dream, everyone. And the thing is, when we look around at the type of people that's achieved their dreams, there's no specific type of person. You got different age groups, you have different races, different backgrounds, people from all over the world with different upbringing, different class, different amounts of money, have all been able to hit the dreams and goals that we say that we have, right? Every single one of us have dreams. All of us in the world, everybody in the world has a dream. But here's I don't say that you know, the unpopular truth, or the real truth is only 1% of the world are making more than 50,000 a month. Out of 85% of the world at 65 are broke. So why is it that everyone has a dream, but most people never achieve their dream? Most people never get to massive success. Most people never have the type of stuff that you guys are typing right now into the chat box, right? And I believe one of the biggest reasons for this is fear. Do you guys agree? How many of us have ever had fear before, right? Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of taking risk. You know, a lot of people think they're going to fail, so they don't start. You know, the fear can stop people from even giving things a shot, from even going for it, because they're fearing so much. And to be honest, for most people, it's easier, right? How many of us know it's easier to make an excuse than go out there and do what it is that we have a fear for? So what are the type of excuses that you've heard? And I've listed a few of the type of excuses that I've heard. Maybe you guys can fill in the blanks. I don't have money. I don't have money, so I can't start a business. How many of you heard that, right? I don't have money, I can't start a business. I don't have a degree, right? I've heard that before. I'm not qualified. I don't have the degree. I don't have the knowledge of a specific area, so I don't want to start that thing. You guys heard that before? I don't have experience. I've heard that quite a few times. I don't know what business, like, you know, there's some people that have so much passion and skill, but they say, well, I don't know what business to do. I don't know where to go to, you know, I can't give up my guaranteed income. How many people are stuck in that 9 to 5? So they're like, listen, I can't give up my guaranteed income to launch something new, to start something new. You know, especially for me, when, you know, I was working, how many of you heard this? I've worked here for 15 years. I've built up experience with this company, and it's going to be hard for me to leave all this experience and leave this position. I've been here so long. How about the plain and simple one? I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't do nothing new. I heard this one quite a lot. I don't like sales. Anybody heard that? I don't like sales. And, you know, one of my favorites is I can't talk to people. I don't want to talk to people. Now, whatever the excuses are, all right, the bottom line of it is excuses can't be paid in the bank, right? The excuses can't be paid in the bank. And what I'm going to be showing us on this call is the power of the concept of marketing, right? And so what you'll be able to find out is what I'm going to teach you now. Anyone from any background with any of those excuses, anyone at all can launch a business and become financially independent. All right. And I want to reassure you that it's not just about sales. Okay. I'm going to break this down for you. It's not just about sales. And there is also a big difference between sales and a salesman or a saleswoman. I want you to deep that, right? Because when we think about sales, one of the things that we think about is, you know, a salesman, and we think about, you know, a dodgy salesman, or that whole fear factor of, you know, most people, you know, who attempt to sell, if they don't sell, they don't get paid, right? So it's almost like, if I don't do this, I'm not going to get paid. Or what's the other one? The fear of rejection. If I become, you know, into sales and I don't sell enough, I'm going to get rejected. And a lot of people have the fear of speaking to others. You know, they have this whole concept of sales being really, really scary. And also, it's lonely. You know, you feel like there's no security. Because it's just you and your one-man band. Has anyone been in any of those like selling things before where you've got, it's just you and your Jack Jones, right? And you're just like, yo. And this is why most people don't get into sales, because these are the things that they think about, right? And even if you're really good at sales, I've met people, I remember when I was working in a bank, I loved sales, like sales was my thing. But even if you're really good at selling, anyone on here believe that they're good at selling? Put a 7 in the chat if you believe that you are good at selling, or Lisa, wave at me if you're driving. I don't want you to, you know, thingy. It'll be interesting to see anybody on here. I believed I was really good at selling. I was one of the top salespeople when I was there. But even if you are good at selling, there's still, you know, some disadvantages. You're still limited because it's just you one. And, you know, your time, and you're running out of time, and, you know, everything, there's still a cap, you know, when it comes to you doing things by yourself. So you are but one person. And for that, you're limited. All right. So regardless of you feel like you're good at sales, regardless of you feel like you're not so good at sales, there are still limits when you are, you know, doing this thing by yourself. So what happens with this concept of marketing now, it eliminates, okay, it eliminates the negative idea of sales, because the thing about you going into business by yourself, now you're able to literally get into a business on a low capital. All right. How much does it normally cost for an average business? I mean, the restaurant that we opened, it took a big investment to get it open. And the great thing about marketing is you have now a low investment, low capital. You don't have to have a lot of money to become your own boss. So overnight, you are literally your own boss, you know, most of the time with a couple hundred investment. Yes or yes, right? Also, you have security, okay? So when you're marketing a product, okay, you have security because there's training. You get to bring on, or in this case, hire the people that you want to hire, all right? You now have flexibility in regards to your own time. You can work part-time, full-time, anytime, okay? You don't have to quit your full-time job in order to, you know, maintain this new business that you've created. Also, as well, you get to leverage the production of the other people that you've hired, right? And I want you to think about this concept as a business. All right. Too many times I hear people talking about, recruiting and, you know, signing people up and all this. You are a business person. You hired someone into your business, and now you are going to benefit from their production as well. And that's the type of language, that's the mindset that I want you to get into, okay? So you can establish a business that produces and has the potential to generate income even when you're not there. How amazing is this marketing space, right? A low investment, a low, you get to choose your hours, you get to hire who you want, right? And you get to get paid even if you're not there, right? That, for me, I don't know, give me a wave or a thumbs up or 7s if that don't sound like the dream, right? That's a dream for me. And that is the type of conversations that we want to make sure that we are remembering, you know, during those pivotal moments when you are hiring someone into your business, Okay, this is the benefits. These are the things that you get when you start your own business, is you have a chance for unlimited income. Yo, I'm originally corporate girl. So how many of you have ever been stuck on that, you know, that hierarchy? You know, the hierarchy when you're like, listen, ain't none of us gonna make that type of income because it is only for them big boys at the top. When you start to market, now the benefits of this is that you, all right, control your income. You don't have that corporate prison where you are now capped on income. You have a chance of unlimited income. Now, what's the power of marketing, guys? The power of marketing is so big that we see it all the time and we don't recognize it. How many of us drink Coca-Cola? Okay, I'm gonna give you a bait example. If you don't drink Coca-Cola, you've heard of Coca-Cola, right? Now, here's the thing about Coca-Cola. Whether I go in Jamaica, whether I come stay in the UK, whether I go to France, guess what I'm going to see? I'm going to see Coca-Cola. Now, do you think it's Coca-Cola selling that, or have they marketed that product and there are establishments selling their product all over the world? See, we don't deep it. We've never thought about it on that level. We think we're buying from Coca-Cola. No, you're not buying from, you've never bought from Coca-Cola. You've bought from the people that they have employed, that they have given their product, they've marketed their product, and now they have distributors of their product. Can you see how we're living this stuff and we don't even realize it? So when a lot of people talk about they don't do sell, and it's because of their concepts, they don't understand how we are living this marketing world every single day. And I can pull out so many examples of, you know, products that we are, you know, we are connected to that are a result of marketing, right? Do we all agree? Does it make sense so far? Right? This is the psychology behind being a business person, the psychology of understanding that, you know, everything that we're around right now, the things that are booming, the things that are making the most results, most likely have marketing involved in it, distribution, because we understand that we're going to make more money. It's going to be more of an impact having multiple people sell the product than one person themselves. All right. If you are launching your own business, would you prefer it to be solely you running around selling that product? Or would you prefer to have a line of distributors that are now selling the product with you, you know, alongside you for your business? Which one would you prefer? And it's important to understand this concept. Would you want, number one, you by yourself, or number two, a line of distributors, right? I see the numbers two holding up, a line of distributors. So when we're thinking about concepts of business, we need to understand the way that this thing works. It works in any industry, anywhere around the world, right? Anywhere around the world, this thing is going to work. All right. Now let's not get too excited. It's not that easy. It's not like you just join, you launch a business today and boom, you have a line of distributors knocking down your door like, hey, I want to be a line of distributor. It's going to take work. You can't expect it overnight, right? Anything that's worth building, any system, any line of distribution is going to take work initially to get it set up. It's going to take work, and I'm going to show us today, I'm going to do a little diagram and show you exactly how you want to build a line of distributors, right? But here's some benefits for you. I want to give you some benefits, okay? Because we know, you know, the potentials of not doing this. We understand that we have to do this if we want to have massive success. Doing it alone is not the way to have massive success, right? Now, here's the thing. Remember this. Money is only made by Coca-Cola when a product sells. All right? Very important. Money's only made when a product sells. As much as we want to make it all fancy, yes, we want the branding, we want the adverts, we want all of the fluff and all of the excitement. At the end of the day, if no one buys a can of Coke, there's no money being made. Yes or yes, right? Money is made when the product is sold. Okay? That's key. All right. Here's a great thing about coming into a marketing field is that now, all right, you're never alone. There's always training. How many of you agree with that? You're never alone. There's always training. Okay, you are now in a community of individuals. I can only imagine how, you know, the community of distributors of Coca-Cola may not be in one group chat, but they may be in different community hubs where they're talking about top tips, where they're speaking about, so you're never ever alone, all right? Launching a traditional business, you or your Jack Jones, me, myself, and I. But when you launch a line where you are now, you know, leveraging a product, guess what? You're never alone. You now have a team. You now have training. You now get expert training. Okay, very, very important. You're your own boss. So you are a company within a company as well. All right. So remember your brand. Remember that you are a company within a company. That's exactly what you are. All right. And again, you're never, ever, ever going to be subject to that corporate prison where your income is capped. You have an unlimited income. All right. You'll never, ever, ever have to have a capped income. Now, here's the thing. Let me break down for you, you know, some tangible things. All right. I want you to understand this, because we got to make sure that we have a builder's mindset. Why do we need to have a builder's mindset? Because in order to build a system, you must have a builder's mindset. You have to have a builder's mindset, right? So the characteristic of any great leader is vision. That's the first thing that we always talk about, the vision. What is the vision for your business? What's the vision for what it is that you are about to create, right? Now, very important, all right, very, very important is two things, all right? Two main things. And I'm going to be talking about these two main things, okay? But, you know, I want you to understand this, right? I want you to understand this. And before I break down those two things, I want you to imagine you having a large network, all right? A large network of outlets. And you have, very, very simply, a large base of multi-product using customers, right? So you have a large network of outlets. This is where you've got loads of distributors distributing your product. And then you have a large base of multi-product using customers, right? So what does that mean? That means, number one, you got loads of distributors all over the world distributing your product. And the second thing is you have loads of customers using a lot of your products, not just one product, using customers, multi-product using customers. I want you to imagine that right now. Imagine you having these outlets all over the world. And then imagine you've got so many customers using multi-products. What would that do for your income? What would that do for your lifestyle? What would that do for, you know, the decisions that you make today? Think about it, because that's all we need to master. You need to master having distributors distributing your product. And then you want to make sure that the product is being used by customers. If you master those two things, take away all the fluff, take away every single thing that is going on, take away all the hype, take away all the frustration, take away all the, you know, we think about so many different things. But actually, if you master those two things, guess what happens to your income? By default, minimum 100,000, minimum 100,000 a month, 100,000 a year. Easy, 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 easy. Large network of outlets distributing your product, and then a large base of multi-product using customers. That's the goal, right? And here's the two main things, very simple, all right? Now here's where we're gonna get tangible with this thing. You must get more personal direct legs. The more personal direct legs you have is the more distribution outlets you have. Yes or yes, makes sense? Personal direct legs. And the second thing is you need old and new members joining opportunity meetings. So for those of you that don't currently have you know, any legs at the moment, any distributors at the moment, don't worry, this is going to still be useful to you. So I want to make sure that you're taking this in as well. All right. You must get more personal direct legs, and you must have old and new members joining the opportunity meetings. That's the blueprint to this, right? That's the blueprint. Now, what is a personal leg as opposed to a personal direct leg? Let me break it down. So personal leg is a personal person that you have personally sponsored, that you train, and you're directly overriding them, right? That's a personal leg. So you brought them in, you've trained them, you're directly overriding them, right? That's a personal leg. Now, what's a personal direct leg? A personal direct leg is a person that you hired, okay? You brought them in, and they've hired and they've trained other people. So you brought them in, you train them, and you help them to train other people. That's a personal direct leg. And that's what you want. You want multiple personal direct legs. Not just personal legs, personal direct legs. There's a big difference to that. These are people that you bring in, you've hired, right? You've trained them, and now you've taught them how to hire and train others. That's what we're talking about here. All right. Now, here's the thing with that, because that takes time. Ain't nothing worse. Ain't nothing worse. And you guys that have done this before will agree. There's nothing worse than hiring anything that wants to click your link. There's a difference in enrolling and hiring, right? I enroll a lot of people. I don't hire everyone. So this is where you don't judge, right? We're not judging here because you don't know who's going to be a beast. How many of you have thought that someone is going to be a superstar and they got started and then their superstar crown disintegrated, right? And then you have individuals that you thought you kind of overlooked them, and boom, they're flying. So we don't judge, but what you got to do is make sure that your time is invested, right, in the right way. So you don't hire anything that walks. You don't hire anyone that's literally like, hey, I'm very, very selective with my time. My time is very, very precious, right? Hence why we have this VIP group, because I want to work with those individuals, all right, that are movers and shakers. I want to work with individuals that I know I can hire, that are going to see the vision, run the play, take massive action, and make this thing happen. So you don't want to hire everyone, all right? And it's important that you understand the value of your time as well. Very, very important, okay? So let me go into all right, so why is it important, right? Why is it important to have old and new to the meetings? I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 reasons why, right? 3 reasons why. Number 1, to resell the dream. You're reselling the dream to the old and new. Very important to resell the dream. Number 2 is you're teaching your team how to sell the dream. People learn by seeing, right? They learn by what they see. And the 3rd one is you're selling the dream to new people. Now that's interesting to have the 3rd one as the 3rd one, and it's in that order. Resell the dream for old and new, teach your new team how to sell the dream, and sell the dream to new people. Now, a lot of people think that the opportunity calls is just for new people. It's in 3rd. Why? Because we want to make sure that the existing members, right? Think about it. You have a distribution line to sell. Who better to sell them than people who have already been trained, that already know the product? Sometimes they know everything they need. They just need motivation. They just need to be helped to see the vision one more time. That's why it's so important. Like what I do every Monday is I personally message individuals to come onto that mindset call. I personally message individuals to show up to the calls, because I understand I never give up on people as well. That's one thing. I'll always say to people, listen, you're going to give up on your dream before I give up on you. right? So I never give up on people. I'm always making sure that I'm sending them that link. I'm showing them that this is the way to come forward, because sometimes life happens and, you know, things happen and people get, you know, distracted for a time or priorities switch, but never give up on people, because seasons change, right? So it's important to understand, it's not just, if you become a just production, you're bringing in new people with no hiring, no training, no, you know, helping people to now become personal directs. That's what you want. You want a personal direct line of distribution, not just personal lines, personal direct lines of distribution. Okay, so, you know, making sure that the old people, the existing people is equally important. All right, very, very important. And, you know, the key to this is also remembering, right? And I'm gonna draw something up now, but it's remembering that a lot of people doing a little is better than one person doing much. Why? Because you get drained, you get tired. And so we got to get good at hiring, not just enrolling, but we've got to get good at hiring. When you hire someone, it means you brought them in, you've trained them, and you've taught them how to hire somebody else. That's once you've hired somebody. All right. But if you're the one doing all the work, that means you haven't hired anybody, right? And it's important that I make that differentiation. All right, because a lot of us, we may bring people in, but bringing them in isn't what we need to do, because otherwise we end up churning. And this takes time. This is why you got to be selective with the people that you work with, and because you're going to pour in time into them, and you don't want no one to waste your time. All right. So think about it this way. One of the things for me is I like to see that 100 people on my Zoom minimum. All right. You know, in years to come, when this recording is played back, I'll probably be on 500 or 1,000 or 10,000 minimum, right? But today, on the 2nd of November, 2021, 100 people minimum. You know, you hear me on the call, let's get it to 100, let's get it to 100. Why? Because in my mind, and I don't know the theory of it, I don't know why, but when I have 100 people on the call, that gives me an average of a certain amount of sales that week. When I have less than 100 people on the call, I see that I have less sales that week. You see, these are the numbers that we as business owners need to know. Do you know your numbers? Do you understand what gets you, what drives your business? Do you understand how many distributors you need in order to make a certain level of income? How many of them are joining the mindset call? How many of them are joining certain calls? Because when you put training in front of a certain amount of people, by default, there will be production. Right? So this is how I want you to think about your business, the psychology behind being a builder of a massive organization, right? Of a line of distributors. Okay, so the average number of people per call equals the average baseline of sales, right? Average line of people, average baseline of sales. So here's the thing, you have no people on there, and you surprised when there's no sales. Right? You see what I'm saying? It sounds so simple when you say it out loud, be like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of it like that. I did not look at my business like that. What I'm doing is I'm just packing it out, but I'm not really close to my numbers. And what's going to take you to the next level, what's going to get most of you to the next income line, is to get closer to your numbers. Understand what makes your business move, right? Understand that it's a numbers situation. We need to get close to our numbers. So how do you build to maximize profits? All right, very, very important. There's 3 ways that you can build. You can build wide, you can build deep, and you can build wide and deep, right? Wide, deep, wide, and deep. Let me see if I could share my screen for you guys real quick. All right, let's see this, right? So you have wide. All right. Now, what's wide? So wide is where you're here. Excuse the drawing. This is you. Okay. And then you have personal enrolled here, personal enrolled here, personal enrolled here. Now, obviously we build with 3 legs, but I want you to visualize this is building wide, right? So it's not necessarily having 4 legs, it's just individual production, individual production lines. Okay. Excuse the drawing. All right, you guys get the drift, right? So let's take this example here, building wide. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of business, right? 6 lines of business. For example, let's make it 7. I don't like that number. Okay, this is you building wide. All right. Okay, and then you have deep. This is you building deep. So you have you here, and maybe you have someone here. Someone below them. They bring in someone, they bring in someone, they bring in someone. All right, you've got someone here. And someone here. Right? And now you're focused on building deep. Maybe you have 9 or 10 lines under here, right? So deep is going downways, okay? Now, what's the benefits of building wide? The benefits of building wide is that, yes, you have multiple lines that potentially could all blow up, right? They could potentially all blow up. But when you're building wide, this is your personal production, right? So when you build wide, this is personal production, okay? When you build deep, this is leveraging personal direct line. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if you brought in 2 people and they brought in 100? That would be great, right? That's real deep, okay? But what's the potential risk of just having 2 people and they both brought in 100 people? They decide to leave, guess what? They're going to take their 100 people with them. This is why it's important not just to build wide, but to build wide and deep. All right, you want to build wide and deep. Width is your profitability, and depth is your security. I want you to understand that. Width is your profitability, depth is your security. If you only have 1 line here, that person can leave at any time, right? They're left, they're gone. But if they're deaf, they're more likely to stay. Why? Because there's a load of people underneath them. So your width, yes, is good to build with width. You need that because you need multiple lines, okay? Multiple lines, that's going to be your profits, and your depth is your security, okay? It's important to have that security. You want to make sure that you are building wide and building deep. So what are we saying? We're saying that we have Natalia here. This is Natalia, right? Natalia brings in our first person. She brings in a second person. She brings in a third person, right? Excuse the lines. Now, what do we want to do? We want to make sure that the 4th person that she brings in, she's going to place them under one of these 3, but remember, this is also a 4th line of distribution. So although you place it under someone, this one will still be a 4th line. When she brings in a 4th person, she brings in a 5th person, she brings in a 6th person, right? You want to have, right, lines of distribution. So although you're placing them under, your personals are your lines of distribution. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't become an active line until you start to get levels deep. So here's the thing. So now we have Natalia's bought in 3. She speaks to 1 and 2. They're like, oh, I just want to be customers. I don't want to build. I don't want to do anything. I don't see the vision. Boom. She's going to now work on the person 3. This is going to be her personal direct line. And she's going to work with them. And guess what she's going to do? She's going to help them to create their personal line of distribution. Boom. Now, through her helping them create their personal line of distribution, guess what's happened? That she has now created a personal direct line, right? She's taught somebody how to now teach and help somebody else. That's what you call a personal direct line. These 2 would not be a personal direct line. That'll be a personal, but not personal direct line. Does that make sense? Let me know. Right? And what you want to aim for is you want to aim for 7 to 12 of these personal direct lines. This is going to give you a 10,000 a month income. Right? This is what's going to give you a 10,000 a month income. What I need for you to do, ladies and gentlemen, but ladies, what I need for you to do is I need you to get out of your head and get into your bag. This is not about personal preference. This is not about personality. This is about production. What are your numbers? Are you spending so much time, wasting on people that do not want to produce? Are you getting emotional over people that don't want to produce? Are you focusing on personal production and leveraging your personal direct line? Or are you focusing on the wrong things? This is why it's important to do the mind work, the heart work, and the phone work. What does the phone work do? The phone work gets you width, right? The mind work and the heart work is what's going to help you to create depth. Very important. Do not waste your time. This is a business. Your goal is to have 12 personal direct lines that are being worked. That without you there are individuals that understand and know exactly what to do in their business. Does that make sense for everybody? Is everybody understanding what I'm saying? Is this clarity for you? Is this like, yo, this is crazy? Now I can see the numbers. Now I know exactly what I need to do. I need to create personal direct lines. It starts with personal production, because you can't leverage your personal line if you haven't got personal production. This is not about, oh, I don't know anybody. This is not about, I'm not good at this. This is about the numbers. This is about personal production plus, right? This could be, let's see if I could do it I'm making this up right now. PP times LPD equals success. Boom. See it there? Personal production times, I don't know where the S came from. Personal production times leveraging personal directs equals success. That's going to get you minimum 10,000 a month. Minimum. I promise you that. Now, here's the mind work. Can I get my head around putting the work in to go and connect with a personal production? Can I get my head around doing the 10 stories a day? Can I get my head around going on Instagram Live 1 to 2 to 3 times a day? Can I remove distractions and can I get to work? Can I focus on solely things that provide personal production and leveraging personal directs? Can I remove distractions? Can I keep the main thing the main thing? You know, I have a limit, 15 minutes. If I'm on the phone, listen, 60 seconds, I'm on the phone. And if this is not in alignment with mind work, heart work, phone work, personal production limit, I am off that phone. I do not have time to waste. What are you doing with your time that is not in alignment with what it is that we got going on here? Where we need to strip back. Because I've just laid out the blueprint. Go ahead and type blueprint if you can see this blueprint right now and a light bulb has just switched on for you. You're like, yo, this is simple stuff. This is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy to remain consistent. It's not easy to develop, you know, to develop the muscle that keeps you focused on this blueprint. And if you only focus on this for the rest of the year, I promise you right now that your income is about to explode. Your income is literally about to explode if you can focus on just this that we've gone through today. This blueprint, don't overcomplicate it. The blueprint is the blueprint. And this blueprint will take you to 6 figures. But now we've got to remove distractions. Now we've got to make sure that we put ourselves in position. Now we need to make sure that we have the right product, right? And so now what I'm going to go through, guys, let me just stop the share.